The best of the vintage collection 2020, all coming up on the next Action Figure Cave video. It's Michael and Patrick here from the Action Figure Cave.
And today we have a really cool video planned for you guys.
So yes, we have Patrick back here, and he loves the vintage collection, so that's why he's here. If you saw our last video, we did the best Black Series action figure of 2020. With the vintage collection, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do best vehicle, best playset, best action figure, best card back, and then we're also gonna have a worst release of 2020. So kind of a lot of different things in one video to make it a little more interesting. So how you feel about that, Patrick?
I'm excited.
Excited about it, right? So, all right, so we're gonna go right to it, and we're gonna do the worst release of 2020. So in 2020, there was a lot of good releases, but there's also some questionable ones, and these are the three worst ones, in our opinion. The first thing is the Luke and Bespin action figure. This was a reissue, so nothing against the card back, but the action figure actually is worse than the first release of this figure. So the printing technology did not really do a good job. As you can see right here, this figure does not look like Mark Hamill, and I think it is worse than the first release. The same goes for this Anakin Skywalker figure here. Awesome card back. I was really excited about this figure, and I still like it because the card back is so cool, but the action figure is, again, the face printing technology failed Hasbro right here, and this face is really bad. So those are the first two nominees. This last but not least nominee is the Carbon Chamber, and it looks pretty good, but you can see how flimsy it is. I mean, this thing is retailed at $50, and it's so bad that the prices have gone down on it already. I mean, it hasn't only been out for a few months, and you can find it at $25. And it does come in a really cool card back and a figure, the Stormtrooper figure, but the set is just really undesirable, especially if you don't have two of them. So we're gonna give you the winner. Patrick's actually gonna give you the winner. Patrick, which was the worst release of 2020?
So my dad and I talked about this a little bit before the video, but we're gonna go with the Bespin playset. Basically what my dad said, it's really flimsy. You know, you can get two of them to make it actually look good, but if you get just one, it's not gonna look as good.
No.
So yeah, that's gonna be the worst released item in vintage collection.
Okay, so we're gonna get off the little negative path now and go to a more positive category, and that's gonna be the best vehicle of 2020 in the vintage collection. And unfortunately, there only has been 3 vehicles released, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm forgetting one, but there's only 3 that we own, so. The first one we're gonna talk about is the troop transport from the Mandalorian, which is right here. And this is a really cool ship. I was really excited to get it. We did a review on it back in the beginning of the year, so if you wanna check it out. The problem with this is it's really small. Yeah, really small. So that's like one of the biggest issues with it. It cost $70, and I think that price was way too much for what you get in this vehicle. But the detail on it and the weathering is top notch. It's a really good vehicle, but in my taste, a little too small. So next 2 are actually reissues. The first one we're gonna talk about out of the reissues is the Slave 1. This is a remake of the 2013 Amazon exclusive Slave 1 with really updated paint apps. I think the paint apps on this is phenomenal. And we all know, if you've seen The Mandalorian Season 2, you know Slave 1 is the big ship, the big vehicle in that season. So it's excited to have this, and I think it's fantastic. Last but not least is the re-release of the Legacy Falcon. This one is the Galaxy Edge Falcon, has all the updated weathering. So this was a Target exclusive, and so anyway, the winner is
The Slave 1. Now, my dad, me, and Dylan all voted for the Slave 1, so it might be a little different than what you guys say, but we think the Slave 1 is just a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I think you guys are gonna be shocked by it. Obviously I love the Legacy Falcon, I love the Galaxy Edge Falcon, but something about the Slave 1, I think it's an amazing ship, and I say it's the best vehicle because with price, the box that comes in is awesome. It is on the Mandalorian TV show now, so this is probably why it's up there, but definitely the #1 ship in the Action Figure Cave in 2020 is the Slave 1. Oh, actually, before we get into the next category, so basically, like I said, there was only 3 vehicles released in 2020. I'm hoping in 2021, fingers crossed, we're gonna get more vehicles. We are getting the Razor Crest, right?
Yeah. The next award we're gonna give out is for the best card back, but before that, go down below our video and click the subscribe button because we're really close to 4,000 subscribers. So go down and click that subscribe button. All right, on to the next section.
Okay, so the next section, like I said, is going to be the best card back of 2020 in the vintage collection. So not the action figure inside, the actual card back. It's so important to us vintage collection figures to have a really awesome card back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one is going to be the Captain Rex vintage collection figure. The figure is actually a reissue, but the card back is just awesome. If you like Captain Rex and you like the Clone Wars, you can't get a better card back than this. I really dig it. So that's our first nominee.
Our second one is going to be the Power Droid. Now, I really like this when they were going to release it, I think last year, because of the pink. You know, you don't really see many pink vintage collection card backs, but also Star Wars, you know, you kind of can't really get more vintage than that.
And third nominee, and we're gonna have 4 nominees on this one because there's so many good ones, is the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars. And so this is another Clone Wars, another reissue, but the first release figure is going for $90 on eBay, and this is such an amazing card back. So this one here is number 3. Is number 3 on our list.
And our last one is going to be the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker from Jabba's Palace. Now, my dad loves this figure and the card back, so of course it's got to be in here, but also it is pretty cool, you got to admit.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't have put that down because I'm going to overrule you on this one. This is the best card back of 2020. I mean, if the host is going to have a overruling decision here, I'm going to do it. This card back, I know it's the same card back we got in the earlier version, but the figure was wrong. We had the Death Star Luke.
Yeah.
The card back with the correct figure, it just, for me, it takes me back to my childhood. And that's what these vintage collection figures are for, is to take us back to our childhood, and that's what this does. Best card back of 2020.
All right, now on to our next section, which is going to be what is the hardest figure to find. Now, basically, all these vintage collection figures are hard to find, but there is one in particular that we seem to have a little harder time finding in the store, and that's Captain Rex. Now, my dad only saw this once in the store, and it's the only time he saw it. So
and it's 1 per case too. So
yeah, 1 per case. So obviously, everyone's gonna have a hard time finding this. So that's why this is going to be the hardest to find figure.
Even on online retailers, I see it like on pre-order, but I haven't seen it in stock that much. So
opposite of that, the peg warmers of the vintage collection. Now, me and my dad had a long debate about this.
This was a tough one.
Yeah. We're obviously kidding. Obviously, there's not many peg warmers or any in the vintage collection because it's really hard to find any of them. So
Snoke. Yes, the first wave of the reissue of the vintage collection was a peg warmer, but that was back in 2015, 16. I don't remember. 18. I don't know. I don't know my years too good, but Patrick's right. 2020, there is no peg warmers in the vintage collection. There are none. I could never see any of them on the pegs hanging around.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna have the best action figure of 2020 in the vintage collection. And not card back, the actual figure. So we do have 3 nominees in this one. So the first one is going to be ARC Trooper Commander 5. So this figure is really awesome. You can also see him in the 3-pack in the convention exclusive. We don't have that, we just have this one. And this figure is just phenomenal. I don't even have it open, but it just looks just amazing. All the weapons you get with it. Obviously you gotta remove the helmet, and I love the head scope on this one. So this is one of the nominees. All right, so the last 2 is going to be the Rogue One Darth Vader. So another great figure, just came out. I love the Rogue One Darth Vader, and I love this figure. And then there's the best car, Mandalorian. So we don't have the Mandalorian 2-pack with the child, and we don't have the Incinerator Trooper, which are really awesome figures, but for some reason Walmart keeps postponing our delivery. So this one's a little tough. We had some disagreements, but overall we're gonna go with the best car, Mandalorian, as the #1 action figure of 2020 in the vintage collection. Just really a great figure, and I've seen pictures of the other one that comes with the Yoda, and that's the removable helmet one. That one is really good too, and like I said, if I had that in hand, maybe that one would be the best, but this one is our favorite, with Vader a very close second. And close third right here too. So last but not least, this is the best released item. And everything, could be a card back, could be a figure, could be a ship, or a playset. Which one is it? What's your favorite?
Okay, drum roll.
What's your favorite vintage collection item that was released in 2020? Best 2020 released item in the vintage collection for us is Slave 1. And yes, it has something to do with the Mandalorian. Seeing that ship in live action is amazing, especially for a Boba Fett fan like me, and Patrick. So Dylan's more of a Jango Fett fan. We always have the little side arguments there, but Slave 1 is a great ship, guys. Go and get it. I will put the pre-order link in the description because they are reissuing the Slave 1 because so many people are buying it right now. So we'll put a link to Entertainment Earth if you guys are interested to look at it. It's such a great ship, and the paint deco on it is amazing. So that is our favorite and top vintage collection item of 2020. All right, guys, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments below what your favorite vintage collection items are, figures, card backs, whatever you want to do. Just let us know. We all have different opinions, which is awesome. But until the next video,
Go get yourself some vintage collection action figures.